You're listening to the Unreasonable Fridays podcast network.
So what I'm going to just do is I'm just going to straight start the stream, and then basically it's basically going to be us unedited.
I mean, that's perfectly fine.
However you want to do it, boss.
Just like, you know, because then I don't have to be like, when are we hitting the start button? Let's just go.
Yeah, I mean, we ain't never really said nothing that we can't say in public.
I mean, yeah, we're not toxic. In fact, I'm sitting here complaining about the proper black representation in this game. So it's like a thing, like that's my hot take, is that I can't make there's no fucking black lady face in this fucking game.
Wait, which game? Because I missed all of that while I was setting it up.
Outriders. I've been wrestling with the character creator for the entire time I've been playing it, because both of the black lady faces don't look right. They don't sit right on camera in the lighting on your character model, or they don't animate naturally with the cutscenes. They look really strange, and I've been trying to figure it out. There's no hair to complement them, and the face paint is really strange too. So so after literally been doing it for hours and hours, about half of my time playing Outriders has been trying to find a black lady face. And I finally settled on this. I made made a 50-year-old Asian woman, a South Asian woman, and that's who's trapped in this terrible planet of despair and destruction. And now that I've settled that, I can finally start playing. And there's an entire audience for Loot the Game that I understand, as I've become that audience in about a week.
Oh,
totally,
wow.
Totally.
You understand the life.
This is a change. Oh,
Here's the go. Here's the deal.
No, this makes sense.
No. There's an entire. I'll say this right now. There's an entire narrative behind it that I will get into. But because we're properly streaming, I don't want to get into this, because this is like a 15-minute conversation. And if people
we can just use it for the sound check.
Right. But I'm going to. We're going to do the show. Let's get this 30. We're going to do the show. Let's do it in 30 seconds of silence. And then we're going to go. And you can send out the stream links or whatever. And let's get this 30 seconds of silence, everybody. Stop doing stuff. Now. Go ahead, stand up, stand up, stand up. Stand up. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Ad Space. I'm your host, Aaron Rand Freeman, but with me, the actual host, the proprietor, the owner, the CEO, the CFO, lead therapist, lead custodian, social media manager, lead artist.
The fuck?
Elise Bacon, how are you?
Hi.
You're also the most delicious name. You're also the most delicious name in podcast.
Well, at least there's like the normal title.
Well, also you have several jobs.
I don't want several jobs. I would just like the one job.
I'm just finishing off this email here, congratulating you on becoming. Yes, that is it. Actually, yeah, you're also the payroll manager. Congratulations, Elise Bacon. Excellent. Thank you. Congratulations.
You're the payroll manager.
Congratulations, congratulations. In this difficult, unprecedented time, you've been able to succeed. Rise and Grind Twitter applauds you and your 9 jobs you've got. Congratulations, Bacon.
I'm not the payroll manager. You are the payroll manager.
I'm not the payroll manager. Congratulations,
you literally handle all the funds.
I am the talent. I'm the public relations and talent person. Talent acquisitions, and you've been acquired, talented person. Bacon, congratulations.
I hate you.
And with us, we also have.
And with us are not hostages. Full-time, part-time, not quite time, sometime co-host Justin.
No, this time you're my hostages because we are discussing something that I wanted to talk about. Um, I will blame Aaron for this, though. He put the idea in my head, and then I said, "Okay, so now we're just going to talk about this." So now you're my hostages for a change. I have taken over. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
That's the name of the episode. Is I'm the captain now. By the way, for the record,
I'm the captain now. I'm the captain.
Okay. Also with us is the host, founder, proprietor of the Black Astronauts Podcast Network, Aaron Bap. How are you?
Hey, so you guys have been getting paid? I need to. Can we talk?
In divvying up the Patreon funds among Bacon's 19 jobs, Bacon makes roughly 8 cents an hour. If we given what Bacon gets, the cut that Bacon gets from the Patreon every month, and 9 jobs, I would say you work about 6 hours a week, 4 weeks a month. That's 24. You make about maybe 12 cents an hour per job. So before you go sending your resume to us, remember, if the grass ain't that greener, the grass ain't as green as you think, guys. Just calm down. Just be cool. I mean, if you got it in you, if you're wanting to pull this crisp 12 cents an hour, then please hit us up.
Thank you. It's hard. I'm good.
Hit us up.
Now, if you would like to increase my pay and Najela's pay from roughly 8 cents an hour, you can do so by subscribing to our Patreon. We also have other ways of donating if you require those means. I'm pretty sure they're on our website.
It is on the website, yeah. But the fastest way is patreon.com/onfridays.
Single donations, if you can't do a subscription, can also be made, again, through a website, which is unfpodcast.com.
Yes, this pay Bacon.
Why taking a coffee?
Yeah.
Why taking a coffee?
Coffee. Because, like, right now I'm drinking sad drip coffee from, like, a machine that's heating element is, like, dying through this lovely Godzilla mug that says "Go Off King." I love this mug. This mug is my baby.
Mug is quite fantastic.
So we're gonna have to.
Yeah, that was definitely a 2 a.m. manic purchase that I didn't really remember until I got here.
Those are the best purchases. Those are the most impactful purchases, I would say, and I hate to say it, but those little bursts of mental illness are responsible for some great acts of art, game achievement, shopping, conversations. Like those little bursts right there from 12 to 4 in the morning, boy. That's when we shine as people. Bless it. Love the mug. Patreon.com/onfridays. Because we have so many people on, we have so many different things to talk about. I do want to see how everyone is doing. We're going around the room. I want to see how everyone's holding up. What?
Whoa. I wasn't ready for this. Go right ahead.
You're not ready? You're not ready to be checked in on?
I haven't been checked in on in quite a while.
Right. So. All right, cool. Well, then we'll let you collect your thoughts. Justin, how you holding?
I appreciate the check-in. Slight deviation. There is a podcast done by former athletes. You may be aware of it. And they did a mental health check-in with each other on the episode. And those dudes hung out constantly. They've watched each other's kids. They've participated in major life events with each other. And they realized in that mental health check, they're like, yo, I really don't know you, though. So, I say all that to say, health check-ins are important, especially with your friends. If you truly care about someone, do a little bit deeper than the, hey, how's it going? Cool. Dap up, leave. But no, I'm good. Mentals are good. Out of 10, I'm a strong 6 right now. The what is bringing me the most joy right now outside of my family, because I got to be honest, like the whole pandemic thing with family here, with Tiff here, with Jonathan here, that's made it has made it so much better. And I acknowledge that a lot of people are like isolated, but I have people that I love that I can talk to and bounce ideas off of and not like be completely isolated. So outside of that, what is bringing me a lot of joy is taking care of my lawn. I've officially become a lawn guy. I've hit that stage of home ownership.
That was actually really funny when my dad became that guy. So like when my parents got a new house, they got like a large front yard, and like they're basically on like half an acre. And so my dad's like, I will not mow. And he got the riding one. My dad's a lawn guy now. I feel like it's an essential stage of Black home ownership.
Yes, it definitely is. Like my front yard is it might be 12 feet, right? It's not big at all. My backyard, whatever. I'm already planning on astroturfing the backyard and possibly replanting some tulips that I might have killed. I'm not sure yet. We're going to wait it out. We're going to see.
Oh, the tulips. They're really delicate.
Yeah. As I'm learning.
Bulb plants specifically.
But yeah, doing all right. Can't really complain on that front. The other thing that's really bringing me joy is if you've been checking in with the One Piece book club, I didn't expect Asia Seeker to stick with it as long as she did. I honestly thought she would just do like the intro and then I just have rotating guests in. But it turns out she really likes it. So I'm like, okay, let's just ride this journey with her and see where it goes. And I hope she's not listening because she's about to get to the part where you cry over a boat. Has this whole thing been an exercise in trying to get one of my best friends to cry over a boat?
Oh no.
It hasn't not been an exercise to get one of my closest friends to cry over a boat. So
your closest friend is definitely going to cry over that boat.
Oh, and she was talking trash. Like when they first get in the water, she's like, oh yeah, get a new boat. Fuck this boat. I don't care about this boat. Then the boat started crying and she was like, wait, no, not like this. And I'm like, you don't even know. You don't even know.
That's because you are a terror.
I'm not a terror.
Okay.
Like part of the reason why I wanted Eric to watch Code Geass with me was because I wanted him to see the Princess Massacre. And I wanted his live reaction to Princess Massacre. So, okay, maybe I am a terrorist. I am.
That sounds like, that did sound like coordinated. That sounds like a coordinated terror attack right there you just described.
It really does.
So,
Hey, Dynamite.
I mean, it's fine.
My category is that you're a terror. You're a terror.
You know what? Guilty. You know how I know I'm a terror? Because when part 2 of the Final Fantasy VII remake comes out and Aeris dies, I can't wait for everyone to realize that she's going to die again for real and you can't bring her back. Or that saving her is going to cost someone else. That's what I'm waiting for.
Wait, what's going to happen?
Well, no, that whole thing is off the rails now, right? Oh,
no, it's not off the rails. Like they're keeping.
I mean,
they're keeping the intent of the story. They're keeping because but what they're also doing is they're also saying fuck you to fans who ignored the intent of the story.
Yeah.
So they're doing two things at once, but it's not off the rails. The rails are set.
Oh no, I think we're going full Kingdom Hearts, baby.
Yeah.
I think we're going there. I think we're gone. I think we are all the way to Kingdom Hearts.
I think while keeping the original intent of FF7, they are going to go full Kingdom Hearts to prove what the original point of the first game was, because so many people missed what the point of the first game was.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm saying this is a FU to the fans.
And when either Aeris dies again and you can't stop it, or you have to swap Tifa for Aeris.
But she has to die.
What if she doesn't, though?
Someone has to die.
I mean, she should have.
Like, a death has to happen.
I mean, technically, some other stuff should have happened too that did not happen.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. It's can't wait.
It's a
Can't
lot.
wait.
I didn't know that there was a possibility of Aerith not dying.
Oh, the story has changed. From a certain point, the story is just different than what you
Yeah,
expect.
like it's hard to talk about without spoiling, but it is masterful storytelling.
Oh,
I was shocked.
so is it a possibility
I'm
of?
not shocked because it's actually what I've been waiting for, but it's also part of why I have to buy it in the full installments.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I can't.
Oh,
And I'm really hoping that they just let me choose the Japanese voice acting.
the English. I didn't. Oh, you had a big problem. I think last time we talked about that.
I have a massive problem
Yeah.
with it. I have a massive, especially because like I said in before, is like the choice was specifically done by the localization team. Like it was a specific changeover done by the localization team. It's not, and it wasn't, and it was repeatedly asked for that not to happen. So like Japanese Barrett is very different and comes across very differently. Like the words of course are like the same, but there's actually like a massive difference. He's not like this goofy ass character.
he's not a blaxploitation trope.
He's not a blaxploitation trope at all. That was a decision made by the localization team.
It was. I think that will be cleaned up in the second part of this. But at the same time, I think
I don't know because I can't trust them because they said that they weren't going to do it before.
Well, I think a lot of that was intentional, but they went too far because a lot of what Barrett says, like versus
The words are fine.
action, yeah, versus words versus actions are totally off. They can match
Right.
that up; it'll be fantastic. So
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And that's the problem. They didn't match that up. They made him a black, like Justin said, a blaxploitation trope. And again, the fact that was a decision by the localization team, like if like the Japanese like dialogue matches the actions.
Right?
It matches it. It makes him a different character. So
yeah.
so
I-
that's why I'm just like rage. I'm like,
all about that.
I can't listen to it for 200 hours. I can't do it.
Same time we talked about the same thing last time.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I had a huge. I was like, it's like if it was something I could ignore, it would be okay, but I can't ignore it. It's like I don't know if you've ever stepped on a cactus burr. You can't actually ignore it because even if you try ignoring it, it itches because there's actually like venom in burrs. Random fun fact: cactus needles have venom.
Huh. Okay. That's interesting to know. I didn't. It's okay. How many parts of Final Fantasy's remake are there going to be?
I think
We-
4.
They haven't.
Yeah, they have. They've said it. It was going to be in 4 installments.
They're
So
gonna
the
installments, but they also have to do all the other parts of that story.
I think they're gonna. Well, their plan, the original plan as announced was 4. They could probably change that if they want to include everything. They're probably going to change that,
Yeah.
or if they decide to cut out like all the side quest stuff, they
Okay.
can do it? Question mark.
I think they're going to be making. No, they can do it. They can do it in 4 installments easy, even with the side quests. Because what nobody remembers is the last third of the game is empty. It's just side quests.
My bad. They said 3 parts. Good luck. 3 parts. Good luck.
No, they can do it. Nobody remembers
Well, because all of disc 3 is getting the ultimate weapons and Northern Cavern.
But
Right,
do we-
all of that's
do we know
optional.
that now? Do we know that now? Because we should have. They made a 15-minute sequence like a whole game. That's the whole.
Also
game.
true.
Like,
Also
we
true.
don't know what is going to be in what part of the game. That's the scary part.
Well, we don't know what's gonna be in what, but again, like the last third of the game of the original game is literally optional side quests. So they're probably going to span those out better. And also, like you can fit a lot of game in an installment now. They couldn't do that back then. They can do it now. So I could easily see it. I can very easily see it.
Okay.
The third disc of Final Fantasy 7 originally was actually like the meat of it was actually really short.
I haven't played that original in so long.
Right.
Yeah, I try to like remove nostalgia lenses on old games by replaying them every so often, and I actually did replay that one fairly recently.
Okay. That's good to know. Okay. I remember very little about Final Fantasy VII, actually, besides all the grinding to fight the weapons. And to know that was pretty much the latter third of the game normally is good to know. Because I don't remember anything but fighting the weapons and being overpowered, because that took about 30, 40 extra hours of my young game time to knock that out.
Not young game time.
Yes. I mean, it's true. When you're younger, how you play games is so different that you are just ready to 100% a game, to the point where you don't even realize what the main game is and what the side game is. You don't have a concept of it. There's no online game. There's no multiplayer. There's no patches. You bought it. You're doing the thing, and you don't have to think about it.
So I don't know why it took me so many years to realize this. What I just started doing is when I'm playing like JRPGs are really grindy. What I've been doing is, instead of just like dedicating like a section to grinding, I just start doing it as I'm going through the game.
Well, that's what I do. When I was playing Lost Odyssey, you would just pull over, like in every place you go, you would just spend a little extra time there, right?
Yeah, you could spend like 15, 20 minutes and then like continue on your way. And it also gives you a little break from when you're like, I really don't want to be in this dungeon, to not spend extra time in that dungeon, and you're fine. You're okay.
As someone at the end of Dragon Quest XI, or I think the end, yeah, those are both very great tactics. Because that's exactly what I did. I said, here, kid, here's this controller. Go wild. And it was the first level, and she couldn't die, and I got all the XP I would ever need.
Listen, y'all like exploiting your children need to like not bring this into this conversation.
Right, that's you put her to work. That's not what we're talking about. You put a child. That's a child labor issue that we don't have the personnel to deal with here on this program.
Right. The fact that the fact that I'm even talking to Justin still after he had his child doing the gathering relics in Final Fantasy 14. Like, I don't know if I want to talk with him. He was like, oh yeah, it was super easy. And I'm like, excuse me? And he's like, oh yeah. So I ended up giving it to Jonathan. And I'm like, oh, I see. No, we can't talk anymore.
I mean, it worked.
Yeah, but in the same breath, you can tell me, oh, it wasn't that bad. No.
I mean, it wasn't.
You had your child do it.
No, for me, it wasn't that bad.
Right.
I mean, I did the hard parts, like driving the boat.
Drive the boat.
Okay, driving the boat, I see.
Setting up the tactics, maybe. So she did that button over and over and over again.
Now, to put this into perspective, for the gathering relics, like on you have to gather like 500 of an item, like a high quality item. So he just
Blacksmith was 800.
No, that's the last step. The last step is like 750 of one, and then like 84 of the other. Or 20, well, anywhere from like 30 to 80.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's the 800 one. I don't know if Jonathan's done that step yet.
I'm not a monster.
I mean,
okay.
Listen. I'm not going to say exploit the youth, but if you're going to exploit the youth, you can't use it as a bragging point.
I mean, you can pay them, and it's fine. It's like, then it would just be like regular labor force. Like, you can pay your children. I don't know what you can pay your children.
I follow the Amazon model. I pay you with food and shelter.
Oh, wow. I mean, it's fine because they can't be trusted with money anyway. But then again, like billionaires use that logic on like us as adults. So
I wasn't kidding when I said the Amazon. We had an earlier episode of Ad Space where we talked about Amazon setting up the homeless shelters and just how evil that is. Like that is, oh yes, you can come in our homeless shelters, while you're trying to get back on your feet. You can work in our warehouses that are right across the street. And it's
listen, the fact that they're the cause of the massive homelessness issue here, and they're like, we're gonna fuck them.
That is for real diabolical. Not gonna lie to you.
Like I think because people keep saying that like Jeff Bezos is like Lex Luthor. I'm like, no, Lex Luthor actually has some ethics.
Yeah, Lex Luthor's not a monster. Lex
Luthor is not a actually monstrous person.
We keep bringing that up. If Lex Luthor ran Amazon, we'd all be better off for it.
Right.
Yeah,
he's like the actual philanthropic
right,
bad guy.
Right. He would
but
actually
he actually has human ethics.
Right. He doesn't care much for Superman, and he's got his own ambitions, but everybody who worked at Amazon, Lex Luthor run Amazon, would probably pull in about $40 an hour. It would be the most desirable labor job in America.
One of our viewers is like, they're the company from Sorry to Bother You. And I can't argue with this.
It's completely 100% accurate.
Before we move on to BAP, I will say my favorite scene in Justice League, the animated series, is where Luthor's in prison and the guard is walking with him, and he says, "Hey, how's your kids doing? How do they like the new game system? Yeah, they're like even better on their stereo." And I'm like, oh, okay, Luthor, yes, you're bribing the prison guards to get preferential treatment, but the families, exactly what they want and what they need. You're giving the dude a car. I see you, Luthor.
I mean,
right.
I don't understand. And I've said this all the time. The biggest problem with America is that they want nationalism for free. But if you pay for everyone's dental and send everyone's kids to college without questions asked, you get stormtroopers forever. Like we always do this thing in America. We're like, we'll pay you $2 an hour to go fight and die. No, we will pay you all $100,000 a year to go fight and die. A lot of us will say yes. The problem is it's not reasonable. We are not given a way of life to defend with our own lives. If we had one, we would do it. If we were all comfortably paid and taken care of, we would all, if anything, if all of a sudden, if we wanted to go full Sith and be like, fuck Mexico, we're going to invade it, and we were all pulling in six figures or nearby or near it, then yes.
I'd be standing on the top of a boat, and I'm proud to be an American.
Right.
I'll be right there.
Man, I'd be sitting in my red lightsaber and my metal arm like a fucking champion. If I can find America supports Black lives, giving us all fucking reasonable, we're all pulling in about $85,000 to $150,000 a year, no matter what the fuck we do. Even if we don't have to work or nothing, people are getting insurance and stuff. Yeah. And then you can get this American nationalism nonsense. Sure, we'll go invade wherever. Where are we going today? What you got? Where are we going? Oh, bro, what are you doing? Right. It's the problem. We want nationalism for free. If we paid for the nationalism, we'd get the fucking nationalism, which is why no one in Latveria, where Doom, no one says nothing about Dr. Doom. Nothing. No one in Latveria says anything about Dr. Doom. Ever. Because they're good. They're cool.
This is very true.
Nobody says, you don't ever hear nothing from his people. Everyone else in the world has feelings about Dr. Doom, but the people he takes care of are like, nah, he all right. He did what? That's crazy.
And then they just walk away.
And then they walk away. That's wild, man.
Wow, about that.
You go back to working that 2 hours a day. A 2-hour work day. Like, yeah, man, that's crazy. He in space now? Oh, he learning math. Oh, wow, he killed Doctor Strange. That's crazy. I guess he's the Sorcerer Supreme. Good for him, man. Good for him. So, yeah.
Dr. Doom is Dr. Doom's actually a really interesting character.
Yeah.
Interestingly written character.
Yes, it's very critical. I'm not going to go off on this tangent because this is half an hour. It's very critical how the MCU handles Dr. Doom if they choose. because he's
They're going to.
I mean,
Oh, the MCU. Never mind. Sorry.
yeah, I'm not MCU. Yeah, if they handle how they handle Doctor Doom is going to be very interesting because he's probably the most interesting character they'll put on the screen for the next decade. Whenever they do, he will. If they do it right, he will be the most interesting character.
Jonathan Hickman is literally in your office, Disney, sitting there.
Oh my
You have no excuse. Like he is literal. Wait, I think because I think a while ago anyways. Disney, he's literally on payroll. It doesn't matter where he physically is. He's on your payroll, currently writing one of the best X-Men stories I've ever read in my entire life.
Hit him up.
He's right there.
He's right there. Just hit him up. Text him right now.
You guys are acting like Kevin don't already know, though.
I mean, we can trust
Like,
him.
that's-
We
like
can,
that-
I was like, Kevin. I'm like, oh, Feige.
who you
Yeah,
thought we
we're
were?
on the
Who you
organization
thought?
now.
Who you thought we were talking about?
It's the guy. Wild.
I thought. What Kevin did you think we were talking about? I'm curious now.
No, I'm just
Kevin
not
Garnett?
used to hearing
Kevin
his-
Johnson.
No, I'm just not used to hearing his full name like that.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. But before we go on this, rabbit hole, Bap, how you holding up?
I'm good. Actually, and I put this on Twitter earlier. This pandemic, I know a lot of people are struggling, and I get it. I get my days too. But like, compared to the last 3 years, I'm fucking good. Like, a lot stress and a lot of other stuff is gone. You know what I'm saying? And I got a new job. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, congratulations.
So, yeah, man, I can't.
I have a working theory about that, where the fact that we're all finally in the same boat, to the degree we're all in the same boat, is bringing a bit of relief to the people who were always there, and everyone else was like, we're fine, it's fine, we're fine, I'm fine. And now more people are like, we're not fine. And you're like, fucking finally. And then you just feel just a smidge, a drop less insane. Just a little bit. And it makes a difference.
Such a difference.
Yeah. So the interesting part is like, so, a popular Republican talking point has been like, suicides are up from isolation. So they finally got the data, and the data is completely the opposite. Suicide rates are totally down.
Right.
Yeah.
Like massively down.
Right.
They're like actually they're way lower.
Listen, it's being able to go outside, see a person, and be like, nigga, and they'd be like, mm-hmm, and then that's it, and everyone knows what that means.
Yeah, there's nobody can fake it.
Nobody can fake it except the real fucking far gone people, but you can spot them. They're like fucking Cobra operatives with the fucking Cobra fucking regalia all over their fucking clothes. You can spot them from fucking miles away. You know those people. You don't need to fuck with those people. But the people you can fuck with, make it real clear they're not having a good time either. So you're less on an island. You're still on an island, but it's a different type of island, and it's not the same. It's not so many people telling you that you're wrong, and it's not so much gaslighting bearing down on you, unbalancing you. So I get it. Congratulations on the new job.
To let you know how my last year ended. My car, remember this? Do you remember this when my car caught on fire? My car caught on fire at the gas station, at the pump.
Right, your car caught on fire.
With the gas nozzle in the car. I take it out. A man turns around and says, "Hey man, your hood's smoking." I'm so depressed that I don't notice that there is smoke coming out of my hood. I push my car, open the hood, and literally 4 feet of flames fly out of my car at the Hood gas station. Maybe 5 blocks from my house. I'm doing a lot better, guys.
Did we ever figure out what the problem was with that, by the way? What happened?
I don't know. It had to be electrical because I had just got it worked on. But
that is definitely an issue.
That is, first of all, I got to find your mechanic. That sounds like an assassination attempt, and I'm not cool with that. You said you just got that shit worked on, and that shit almost exploded suddenly? Like, you were cool, right? And then you sent that shit to the mechanic, and then that shit explodes? Nigga. Okay, Joe the mechanic. If that's your real name, probably go back there. You probably ain't even work there no more.
That's your
Everyone's,
real name.
they'll be like, hey man, where's Joe? And they'll be like, who? You know Joe, the guy who worked on my car. What the fuck you talking about, Joe? We don't have a Joe here. I'm just saying. You might want to launch an investigation. This is a mild one. Don't go in too deep. But there are questions to ask. You need answers. We need answers.
I think that it was about time. Like that. It was like watching your baby die. Not like the baby, but like your life. Just the last 10 years of your life. Just bye. It was great. It was great.
The relationship just ended.
Yeah, it was like a good ending of a relationship. It was like, thank you.
I'm not sure your car trying to take you out is a good ending.
Listen,
It didn't succeed.
It did not
succeed.
Hey, and then it waited until I got all the way over to where there was no gas at, and then decided to fly open. So she held out. I mean, to the damn car held out to the end of the end of the end. I loved it. Great. Also, I gotta talk about this now because I don't feel like we're gonna have a chance to talk about it. So this is a pro Xbox podcast for the most part.
What's for the most part?
No, pretty. We're
I'm like,
we all like our discount game subscription thingy. We like it.
It's gonna sound real bad, but I bought a PS5.
Hey, congratulations!
I am very excited about it.
Congratulations on your PS5.
It is a hell of a system. It has some great games on it. Ratchet and Clank remastered for PS5 looks like a cartoon. Just looks like a Pixar cartoon. And other games, Ghost of Tsushima. I got Assassin's Creed Bacon. That game is fucking phenomenal. You were right.
Listen, like I said, the only problem with it is that it comes after Odyssey.
And it's so long. It's so long. But yeah, anyway.
It's a huge game. That's the Assassin's Creed games now. They're just very huge.
I miss my Xbox. I should have bought a One X or a Series.
Are you not enjoying your Final Fantasy 14 machine? Are you not?
Oh my God. I haven't turned my PS5 on in a week. I haven't even had it plugged up because my Xbox has been plugged up. My Series X, not my Series X though.
Xbox One X. Yeah.
Yeah. Just because I want to play my games.
Yeah.
I want to be in the ecosystem where I know where shit is at. PS5 is so confusing. It is like so dense. You are not locked into that ecosystem. It is like, well,
you're getting roasted in the chat, Bap. So I'm gonna need you to Bougie straight up like, are you not amused?
So the frustrating thing about PS5, all the quality of life improvements they made to the 4, organizing your games by folders, the party system.
I had a 4. It was good.
Yeah, they scrapped all of that for whatever this UI is.
It's awful.
Well, the thing is like I had a feeling that was going to happen because they did the exact same thing when they went to PS3 to PS4. Is they removed all the utility that made the PS3 really awesome. Because it was like there was so much organizational utility and it was great. And I was like, that's actually what the biggest reason I wanted a PS4. And they got rid of all of it. And I was like, oh, nah, fuck.
And then they put it back a year before they got rid of it.
Back, and then they removed it.
Yep.
And I'm like, but why? Why are you removing the thing that makes it good?
But it's not even about the PS5 stuff to me. Like, I would be able to deal with that. Like, I understand, like, the games are out for either system. Like, we're not getting PS5 games yet, or Xbox Series X only games. But the problem is I have so many more games on Series X that are getting that bump anyway. And it's just like, damn it. But I will say PS5 is a great system. If you have one and you locked in that ecosystem, like that's where your games are going to be great for you. I don't know how the backwards compatible thing is going to work. I think they're going to work on that. overtime.
They're
They have to.
They're not going to. No, they're not going to. They never have. They don't do backwards compatibility
did.
like that.
They
play
didn't.
different games then.
No, they literally just resell the games.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Don't do
They
that.
didn't do it from 4 to 3. They didn't do it from 3 to 2. They're not doing it.
That's it.
They're specifically not doing it.
They better depend on their player base because whew,
Well, I mean,
I'm-
most of the player base just kind of understands that. I mean, the core player base
right.
understands that.
I feel like it makes me feel like I'm not a real, because my thing is I don't have a PlayStation, and I never got a PlayStation 4. It's the same reason as like I don't really want to buy I don't want to really step into a whole new gaming ecosystem. Because most of the there's not enough exclusives on PlayStation for me to step into a whole new ecosystem, and I'm just like, I just don't. I'm literally like, oh, I just don't care that much about like getting a PlayStation and then stepping into the PlayStation ecosystem cold each time. And I was like, I guess I must not be that much of a gamer, I guess, because I just like my Xbox. I treat my Xbox like someone would treat their cell phone. Now that's categorically it's untrue. But I feel like it sometimes. I'm like, because some people be out here like, you know, like BAP and just kind of like jumping into it. And I'm like, I couldn't be me. Brand new shit. Brand new in 2021. Chill.
But also they like games when Sony is firing on all cylinders, they make phenomenal things.
Absolutely.
Like God of War right now, playing on my PS5 looks ridiculous. Like just phenomenal.
Miles Morales on
Miles
PS5.
Morales, PS5. I mean, it looks beyond words. So they can get there, but the whole thing, like you said, Dose, is the whole backwards compatibility thing. Compatibility. Excuse me. I have so many games, and then I have Game Pass. So the games that I have to purchase on PS5, I'm already getting on Game Pass. And that's the other portion of it. It's like, damn it.
I don't think, and this is probably the most biased statement I'll make. What do you say?
I said that's all I'll say about it, by the way.
Is,
Done with my rant.
Listen, it doesn't seem like an ecosystem worth the amount of money that I would be paying for one of these next gen consoles, or the hassle to go get one, considering the ecosystem is going to be closed in about 6 years. And the fact that it's closed to start, like I don't understand how it's worth the money if they don't care. And it's like I've been playing games for 20 years now. I kind of like the acknowledgement that I've been playing video games since I was 13. I'm 37. About 25 years I've been playing video games. I kind of like that acknowledgement, especially because my first major console was PlayStation 1. It would be great if Sony was like, oh man, you've been here since Tekken 1? Well shit, nigga. Have Tekken 1 for no reason. ain't nobody playing Tekken 1, but like I've never, out of all the things,
people play Tekken 1.
What?
That's not even remotely true. Tekken
Oh no, I'm saying I wouldn't play Tekken 1, but I have Tekken 1 because it was the first game I got with my PlayStation. I'd have Tekken and Ridge Racer and NBA in the Zone and Battle Arena Toshinden and Jumping Flash because those were the first games I played with my PlayStation. But like Sony doesn't give a fuck. And that's hard.
Literally does not give a fuck.
Sony doesn't give a
But
fuck.
again, like, you know, that's just like different value systems when it comes to gaming. And, you know, everybody's going to have different value systems.
You had to, when the PS2 came out, you had to buy a third-party attachment for your memory card, your PS1 memory card to work with the PS2.
I remember PS2 games used to work. I thought PS2 and PS1 worked. I thought PS2
so
was...
the games worked, certain games worked, but the memory cards themselves, if you wanted to use your PS1 memory card, you had to get that third-party attachment.
Or what you had to do was you had to have, well, actually PS1 memory cards do work.
Okay.
So when they came out with the slim model, they changed that. So it's on the old brick PS2s that the PS1 memory cards don't work. But on the newer, like on the slim one and on the silver and on the white, because each of those is actually a completely different generation with like boosted PS2 specs. Those those will read PS1 memory cards, but you can't save PS1 games on PS2 memory cards and vice versa. So you still have to keep both memory cards.
That's what I remember. Okay.
So, but on the original brick, you couldn't play it. The PS1 memory cards didn't work until they finally did I think they had to do like a firmware update.
A firmware update so you could add a virtual PS1 memory card to your PS2 memory card.
Yes, there we go.
That was it. Okay. It's all coming. All right, it's all coming back to me. Okay. And after that,
and then they just like built it into future models.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed the PlayStation 3 that played all the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games. That gets super hyper value. Like I didn't care that much because I was like, oh cool, I'll get a PS3 whenever because obviously they'll all be backwards compatible. And then they put the kibosh on that, so the PS3s were like $900 forever. The ones that played PlayStation 2 games and PlayStation 1 games were $1,000 cold for years. They still might be.
I literally have one sitting not 2 feet away from me right now.
Yeah. Next time I have the money to spend, I have to buy a new PS2. So, and just put it to the side until my current PS2 dies, which my PS2 is still alive. I've had my current PS2 since like 2006.
That's how you'll know. That's how you'll know I'm rich. Is you go into my house and they'll just be like this shrine called an ode to. Sure, fine. Where it'll have all the PlayStations, just them. Just like it's a shrine to. Yeah, all right, fine. Sony, have it your way. And it would just be PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 just there on one monitor.
Please don't call me out like that. I'm gonna need you to not call me out.
Do you have a shrine to fine whatever?
I mean, it's not a shrine. Everything is like put away in dust, like in boxes right now, so they don't get dust on it. But like everything I don't play right now. Well, yeah, everything right now is in a box where it can't get dust on it. But like, you know, one day when I might have money, I will straight up like have an entertainment center that's built. So like all I have to do is like change the plugs and I can just play whatever at any time. but the actual entertainment center is just gonna be like, you know, like have like glass doors on it. So again, no dust, because like I do not, but like enough air to keep things from overheating. Yeah. Anyway. That's gonna be future Megan. I'm gonna be one of those people.
You absolutely should be.
And it's very impressive, by the way. Like no shade, that is very impressive.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be me right now. Like I said, right now they're all in like bins. Like, you know, my Atari, my N64, my PS. I have like 2 PS1s because people just keep like. One thing too is once people figure that you collect old consoles and things, they'll just be like, "Here's a whole box." Like just full of shit, and I just want $25 for it. And I'm like, thank you. Or they'll just be like, here is my dedicated collection. I am giving my collection to you because I know that you will take care of it. Like I've gotten people's entire like PS1 and PS2 collections just because they're like, I can't hold on to this anymore, but it needs a good home. So that's gonna.
For the record, I would watch an entire show about you being handed people's collections and the stories of why they have to give you the collection. Like every day you just sit in someone's house and they give you a flashback for 45 minutes of what happened and why they're giving you their solid gold PlayStation 2 or like their 100 Nintendo 64 games or like or some custom edition Smash condition GameCube controller or whatever. You know what I mean? I would watch that show. I'd watch that show.
You would watch that show.
It'd be a great show. It would be. I mean, Antique Roadshow does that shit, but I mean, with just a little more sizzle on it would be great, and more black folks be phenomenal.
Yeah, like, my best friend gave me his, and I still have like, you know, those old school like CD sleeves,
right,
like with the zipper.
Mm.
I still like have it in that because I would feel bad taking them out of that, so I'm just like I'm trying to preserve the integrity.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
All right, so Bacon has a
It's
shrine.
just absolutely ridiculous. It's not a put together shrine, but one day it will be a put together shrine.
If you have all the pieces for a shrine, and it would take you 6 hours to do it, then you have a shrine there. You just literally have a do-it-yourself shrine there. You're ready to do it. So you have it, and that's our goal now for the program, is for you to have the ability to just set that up comfortably.
See, Bougie, I like, because like you just said in the chat that you got that case from IKEA when IKEA was new. Like, I can't get rid of it. I have to keep it.
Right.
Like, it's a relic.
Right. Do you understand in the narrative of that CD case, the fact that IKEA is new would set the time period so cleanly in a narrative that IKEA was new to the point where you have to, everything about the collection is collector, including the case with the collection in it, because the scale, the time was this time IKEA was new, and everyone in the audience like, oh shit.
Right. Oh God.
So
When IKEA's like, I remember that.
right. All right. I'm going to say, I'm going to throw this out there. I was going to throw this out there before we get into the meat of the program, because I know Justin has a hard stop. He has a hardest stop. So I won't keep anyone. While I was making fun of Outriders, aka Loot the Game, I became a big fan of Loot the Game through no action of Loot the Game itself. In Destiny, there are Destiny 2. I'm a very prolific Destiny 2 player. There is something called Grandmaster Nightfalls, which have you functionally doing a nightfall at negative 25 light levels under light all the time. Like, Bungie locked that in. You can't level up to make it any easier. You start it, you're 25 levels under. That's it. And because there've never been rewards attached to it, just bragging rights. So I've been doing it with some people off to the side, but a vast majority of people have been like, fuck it. Now the Bungie has put rewards in at the end of them. So now I've been doing the hardest content in the game with about a dozen people who are just straight up like the Marines from Aliens. And it's just so much, it's over, man. They're everywhere. What's happening? And I've been doing that for about a month. And it's just like people are having anxiety attacks. People are freaking out. People are getting wiped by ads. They're getting killed by everything. They don't know when to do their supers. I'm like, just do anything. And I've been guiding people through that, and well enough, but as a result, I've been playing Destiny at the highest level, at the most difficult content, for about a month. And all of a sudden, I put on Outriders, and it's stupid. And everything runs towards me, and I shoot it. And then loot comes out, and rock music plays, or whatever the fuck. And that's it. There are no raids. There are no strikes. If there's a narrative, I certainly don't give a fuck. And as a result, I actually like it quite a bit. It is, as the kids say, a vibe. But the game didn't do anything but sit here. I am so tired of involved gameplay that I actually just want to shoot things and have loot come out, but have it not be Borderlands because Randy Pitchford is a ghoul. So it's like Pitchford-free Borderlands. And that's great. That's it. That's all. I like the game. That's it.
Yeah, no, it's like, it seems like good casual fun where you shoot things and it explodes like cotton candy.
It is. And if you're in that space, like if you're like, man, I really want a deep involved game. I want a deep involved evolving world. This ain't it. But you're like, I just want to shoot things and have good things come out of their bodies when I shoot them. Then please, by all means. It was what we thought what it was going to be. It is every inch of what I thought it was going to be.
They don't make games like this anymore. This is like a B-ass-B game.
Right.
Like this is like what's the Star Wars game? Jedi Force Unleashed. It's like that.
Right.
This is like get some popcorn, talk to your boys over the chat. This ain't like I need to be all in on. But it is fun.
Right.
So I agree.
Yeah, it is very simple.
Yes.
And the value in it is clear, especially when you're an exhausted gamer who plays too much of one game, and then you become the Sherpa to adults, several other adults, who also want to do the same thing. It's all very tiring. Just shooting mutants is great, and it's great. It's flawed, and there are flaws we will get into, but it doesn't matter. I got it on Game Pass. I didn't pay anything for it.
Well, so that's what I was going to say. I am glad that all of you are enjoying your Death Metal Destiny provided by Game Pass.
Yeah, that's another thing about the ecosystem is every so often there are about 10 games a year that are much better because they're on Game Pass. And I think the developers know that. Like whatever, Outriders launched with several technical issues. And also because of the fact that it became so popular, none of the servers were ready for the amount of people dying to play fucking Outrider. So the servers collapsed immediately. Crosspay was shot. I don't know if it's back up, but it buckled under the weight of how popular the game had become from its demo. The developers were not prepared, and I don't blame them. But because a good chunk of the audience had not paid for the game, we were all just like, cool. And we just put our headphones on and skateboarded away and came back when it was ready. If we had paid for this, if we had put forth the $60, then we would still be stabbing their charred corpses right now with pitchforks right now. Just idly, just stabbing them to pass the time. But because we didn't pay, all right, cool. Sure. Sure.
Closing thought on the subject. Sony, you could have done this with PS Now.
Sony doesn't care about PS Now.
Sony don't care about
They don't. Nope, they don't.
They don't care.
Hold on. Do we have to? Can we, for 2 seconds, talk about the fact that MLB is coming out on Xbox One day one?
Yeah.
Oh, isn't
Day
that on
one Game Pass?
Yeah, so it's on Game Pass. Yeah, MLB The Show, the exclusive in the West for PlayStation. That is the Western exclusive for PlayStation. Game Pass day one. Good luck, everybody.
What about Sony over there?
I mean, this is Microsoft's plan. Is to just have you just playing games and and start noticing the difference. They like I said, when they got Bethesda, nothing will change. There will be no such thing as an Xbox exclusive Bethesda game. There will be the Game Pass exclusive game where you either pay $0 or $59. Same thing with MLB The Show. It's like, all right, well, we got baseball here. Well, you can keep your baseball. That's it. You can keep your baseball. If you want to try it, it's here on Game Pass. Yeah, go ahead.
It's brilliant. It cracks me the fuck up.
A few years.
Basically, and what people need to understand is like Xbox is like, we're not competing with other consoles because they're not. They're doing something completely different. They're like, we're competing with Steam and GOG. Like, we're not competing with other. Yeah, we're not competing with other stuff. We're not part of like people. I swear. People were fighting with me on this. I'm like, the console wars are over. Now, gamers might not understand the console wars are over, but the console wars been over.
Yeah. Well,
like everybody went 3 different directions.
Gamers TM formed their personality around being consumers. And once the thing that they were consuming were no longer in competition, they still had to show that they were consumers.
My identity.
And what bugs me is the weird consistent argument from Gamers TM that negates the ability for us to reach an even understanding. Like, say, if you are a PlayStation fan, right, then you do in fact have some of the most magnificent exclusives ever created on your console. Like just some of the most exquisite single player exclusive games ever made. Ever made. However, in terms of infrastructure, it's vastly inferior. And that both of these things are true, and all of these things are fine. And I think in the refusal to acknowledge this stuff, because we fight over games, we were bred to fight over games, we can't reach any holistic understanding of why you would buy one console over the other console, or why would you buy both consoles, and why we don't need to fist fight over it, because they're doing such drastically different things that it's a question of, what do you want to do? How long have you been playing this? How long have you been playing that? What do you want to play? We're good, healthy questions we could be talking about and discussing. But we're still having arguments from like 2004. It's a waste of time. And now,
God, it was 2004. Jesus.
yeah, they're bringing out the Ninja Gaiden compilation, and the last Ninja Gaiden game came out in 2011, Ninja Gaiden 3, and I'm like, what the fuck is life? But anyway,
Speaking of that, there's gonna be a new DLC with Streets of Rage 4, and Estelle's gonna be
you get to play Charlotte Flair. Let's go. Yeah, BAP showed me, and I was like, oh, I get to buy it today because I'm so used to things hack. I don't track things that are coming, so when I see things, I'm like, oh, cool. When do I get it? And I'm like, the end. Oh, I see. Later on this year. Oh, I see. It's April now. I see.
I track things when I'm not. Sorry, I track things when I'm not playing 2 to 3 different games.
When are you not playing 2 to 3? Wait. That's a weird statement.
Sometimes it gets down to one game because I'm waiting for the second game to come out. So like right now I'm only playing 2 games, but I was only playing the one game while I was waiting for Bravely Default to come out.
You were really only playing one game?
Yeah, I was really playing one game. Because Comcast and I were fighting, and because Comcast and I were fighting, I couldn't play Assassin's Creed because I'm playing that through the cloud. So because Comcast and I were arguing, and I didn't get that situation fixed until Bravely Default 2 came out.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, because
I have to say this for the audience because it just made me laugh. One of our illustrious listeners just said that they're going to take LJ's voice and spread it on toast because it's buttery.
Excellent.
Guess who it was, LJ?
I know who it was.
I don't even have to look at the chat. Like, I already know who it was.
Listen, this is perfect. I love that. Please make it weird, chat. Like, don't hesitate. I obsess over soundscapes, like what people's voices sound like in a group by themselves all the time. So the fact is that listen, if you're getting into it, get into it. Share your thoughts. Don't be bashful. It's good feedback for me. If LJ might feel weird, I don't care. Put in the chat.
See, I don't feel weird because he's heard my voice before numerous times, like for the last 3 years. All right, whatever.
It don't make a difference. That's strong resonance right there. Isn't someone who's used to your voice is still struck by your voice every time. That's good vibes right there. So good. Thank you. Thank you. Keep going in the chat. Go crazy. All right, LJ. Speaking of LJ, you have the floor because you want to talk about a thing. Thank you for being patient.
Because you put this idea in my head. Because on Facebook, you were talking about Kuroko's Basketball. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I enjoyed that show when I watched it. And it's on Netflix and Crunchyroll. The dub is actually really good, surprisingly good. So I'm watching it. And then we were talking in our group chat about just how Kuroko's Basketball, the story, the show, the manga at its core loves basketball.
Yeah.
Right? Like it does all the standard shonen tropes of teamwork and friendship and perseverance. Okay, yeah, it's a sports manga. It's going to do that. It's sports shonen. But also, every decision made within the confines of the fantastic world that it's building makes basketball sense.
Yeah.
Like at no point does anyone do anything that we're like, oh, that would never happen in a basketball game, no matter how fantastic what's going on is like that just doesn't make sense.
I would actually say the basketball tactically, now this is an all strong reference. The basketball, it makes the most sense of anything since like Blue Chips.
That is a deep cut.
That
is a deep cut.
The thing about Blue Chips,
I don't even know what that means.
There was a movie with Shaq and Penny Hardaway in it where they were college recruits and they were like, it was about corrupt college basketball, blah, blah, blah. But this Nick Nolte went and recruited essentially like Tony Stark with the Avengers. No, like Bruce Wayne in the Justice League movie where he was just walking around trying to find the fucking Justice League, whatever.
He definitely did. He was, yeah.
He's just walking around. He just put on a suit and just flew around.
Yes.
Anyway, anywho, Nick Nolte did that and found Shaq in Penny, and Shaq was playing in the bayou, but like playing in like a secret basketball court in the swamp, whatever. Anywho, the basketball was accurate. What he was looking for in terms of his team, he wanted, he got it, it worked. Basketball worked. And still to this day, it's probably the most tactically accurate basketball I've seen in a movie where it all worked, to the point where corruption had to bring it down. Not anything that happened on the court in the movie, because the team was actually almost virtually flawless. It was a well-designed team by Nick Nolte. But go on, please.
No, so like to your point, the Sarah in high school, we're following Sarah in high school. The way the team is constructed in the first slight spoilers. Well, it's a sports manga. You can't spoil it. They win. Of course they're going to win.
Wait, no, actually sports manga is specifically the one genre where you can't spoil it.
Yeah, like you know they're going to win. The joy and excitement comes from seeing how they win. But in that first season, they're flawed. And like me and my basketball eye watching this, I'm like, oh, okay, eventually this is going to catch up to them. They have Blake Griffin, the two main characters. One is Blake Griffin and one is Manu Ginobili when he couldn't shoot for those first 3 years. I remember those 3 years. Those were 3 very stressful years for me as a Spurs fan. We had Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, and Tim Duncan, and Ginobili couldn't shoot, but he kept trying to shoot. Anyways, I'm not gonna relive those years.
I always argue because Kuroku wouldn't shoot when Ginobili did shoot. I think Kuroku had a lot more in common with Ben Simmons now than he has with Manu Ginobili, who was not bashful. Kuroku was terrified of shooting to the point where he had to deploy. Anyway, I will not derail. Please, I'm sorry. Continue.
Well, no. I would say it's more, Kuroko is more in common with Jason Kidd's last 2 years, where he knew he couldn't shoot and wouldn't shoot unless it was an absolute emergency. Where he was like, look, if I'm shooting, that means something has gone horribly wrong here.
That was like his first few years. His first few years he didn't shoot. His last few, he's like top 10 3-pointers made, Jason Kidd now?
Yes.
Top 10. He was backloaded. We'll say those 3-pointers he took and made were backloaded in his career. He did not take them when he was a young man.
But no, Kuroko understands that he can't shoot, so he doesn't. He's just really good at passing. Like that, his whole thing is just these fantastic passes. But he can't handle the ball because the only thing he can do is pass. So I'm like, cool, you've got Manu Ginobili, you've got Blake Griffin, because all Kagame can do is dunk. He can't shoot, he can barely rebound. All he does is dunk. And I'm like, I mean, in high school this works, but eventually you're gonna run up against an actual team, and oh nope. They solve the problem. They get a center, and then they turn into the Phoenix Suns. They turn into Mike D'Antoni, 7 seconds or less. Go. And like, I'm watching it. I'm like, this makes perfect basketball sense. They have a center. They have Jokic. They have Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
The center just, all right, I get the rebound and throw it. And throw. Run. And I'm like, I would actually watch this in real life.
I love the fact that they made a big deal out of him being both a center and a point guard, and everyone, he was like, "Don't worry, I'll initiate the offense," and everyone was like, "Oh."
Well, no. So this came out in what, 2011?
I don't remember. We're going. Let me look.
Because the idea of a point forward wasn't popularized.
I guess that would be wild back then, huh?
Like Amari Stoudemire was a freak of nature. Now he's the standard.
I'm trying to think about that because like there were some teams trying to do it and they would get shouted out because, like I said, I'm an old Knicks fan. I grew up with Anthony Mason, and no one understood what the fuck was going on with Anthony Mason. So,
oh my god, Kuroko's basketball started. Its first issue appeared in Shonen Jump 2008.
Yes.
Oh, so they had a point forward. Wow. So that person who wrote the story actually really, really, really loved basketball.
Kiyoshi's appearance, the center, he first appears in 2010.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
The
I
person.
was reading Shonen Jump specifically at that time because it's also about the time that Shaman King had come out, as
Oh,
well as the first One Piece, and that's all around the same time.
Hey, you see Justin? You see Justin how his face was like, oh.
Yeah, so that was like, I specifically remember reading because that's when I was actually buying the real life issues because abs didn't really exist back then.
Yeah.
So I was actually buying like the issues of Shonen Jump specifically so I could like, you know, go through Grogu's basketball and One Piece, which was great. And also I got really into Shaman King. I remember when that debuted.
Good luck, Netflix, by the way. That Shaman King remake, good luck. I remember the back half of Shaman King. I remember Choco Love. Good luck.
Oh,
Didn't
God.
they like redo him for this new anime?
They redesigned him, and everyone was like, "This is so racist." And I'm like, "Oh, y'all went outside. Y'all don't remember."
You can't be
Oh, right.
They're like, "This is terrible," and I'm like, "Go Google him.
Google
Google
he
Choco
used
Love
to be-
2008."
He was
Just do
it
it.
was really bad.
They
It
couldn't
was like high offensive.
Like
it was almost Mr. Popo level.
He was basically Shaman King, Mr. Popo.
I will say it's worse because it's an actual black person.
Right. Whereas Mr. Popo was actually supposed to be Indian, which makes it like people always forget
That's
that.
even worse.
Yeah,
Anyways.
no. Japan's like super racist against India, like super racist, which is funny because they use like a lot of the religion in like everything.
Yeah.
But they're just like, fuck the people.
So Fujimaki Tadatoshi, you could tell they really love basketball. And even so the main antagonists are the Generation of Miracles, these 5 prodigies that are super good at basketball. And Aaron made the point that each one of them is basically an NBA player, right? Like you said, Almine is Kyrie Irving.
Yes.
Which I didn't see it until you said it. I thought Akashi would have been Kyrie Irving, but then you said, no, that's more like John Stockton, Chris Paul. And I'm like, no, that fits.
Right.
Like he is this superb point guard, makes perfect passes. His special ability is just, he breaks your ankles in the most dramatic, it is the most mundane crossover.
It is called,
but the result.
It's called the Emperor's Eye, where he sees so far ahead that all of his dribble moves work because he's watching every single muscle in your body move, and he's able to change direction based on the muscles in your body and where they're twitching. So it looks like you just got crossed over violently, but he just like went left to right. But because we just literally timed it perfectly with like your quad and your like your fucking lower back or whatever. That's it. And yes, his Emperor's Eye. He sees everything. However, that's the product of severe trauma as a child.
Yeah.
So his trauma is so severe that he's split into 2 personalities, with one personality having the Emperor Eye, which allows him to see all the things in the court, and turns him into a tiny terror, a little dictator. But yes, he's also the best point guard of all time as a result.
Because his other personality allows him to, anyone that has played 2K, he has Spicy Dish. Every time you get an assist, you get on fire. You're in the zone.
Spicy.
And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. You're the single most broken person in this series.
I mean, I was watching with Erica, and we were like, because they were showing the other Generation of Miracles pretty comfortably. And I was like, that one with the red hair must be the Demon King, considering these other dudes are already overpowered. So that dude with the red hair has got to be the Demon King. And he did not disappoint. And I was like, oh, I see Demon Emperor. Oh, okay, my mistake. But yes, he did not disappoint in the slightest.
Like he gets it through the power of friendship. He learns that, like, basically the whole thing is each of the Generation of Miracles are like, I am so good, I don't need teammates.
Yes.
And they get beaten and they learn that they need their teammates. Akashi learns that lesson right before he's about to lose. Like, oh no, I need teammates. We're not fucking losing.
My favorite thing is that it's they
My
are.
pride over losing.
Yes.
One thing I realize now that we're talking about it is that the Generation of Miracles aren't assholes, because you ever see shows where the assholes are assholes because assholes are assholes as opposed to an
Yes.
actual reason, and like there's a legitimate exploitation of young talented basketball players that happens in real basketball. Like the school that they went to realized they have 5 NBA quality Japanese players, which fuck, right? And so they were like, we're going to shuttle those 5 guys out, because usually they let everybody play. They rotate guys out, so there are whole ass games where your best players just don't play so other people can play. And they were like, nah, we're gonna have these 5 players play every game against everybody all the time. So they just shuttled out 5 over 99 overall players every time to beat up on 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds.
They
for
had
2
a
years.
they had a 6'9" 12-year-old.
Yes. And everyone's attitudes, everyone acquired the appropriate response to being 11 and winning hundreds of games in a row by 100 points.
Like, yo, their middle school was basically AAA it was AAA basketball.
Yes.
Like it was those little shoe camps where they shop the kids around different schools. Like, okay, the Allen Iverson story that people are accustomed to in basketball that played their way out of the hood, we have legislated that out of basketball. The only way you get in the NBA now is through these prep schools, and these prep schools chew these kids up and spit them out, and that's what this middle school was. So as I'm watching this, I'm like, oh wow, this is actually what happens in America regularly.
Yeah, somebody really did their homework. Somebody really
Right.
likes American basketball.
And
And so the what I did appreciate though, like the way all the different teams are built. The team with Minarima, Steph Curry, they're an inside out team. If I have a dude that doesn't miss from the 3-point line, I don't need any more shooter.
I feel like we're downplaying for the audience. Like we're downplaying the incredible power that Minarima had. Because Kuroku deployed magic. Like he was so vehement about not shooting the ball that he deployed straight up magic on everything. Like some of the ball players were good. Like I forgot the name of the purple haired giant fellow.
Murasakabara.
Yeah, Murasakabara. He's a big man. He was a talented big ball player.
He's 12 years old and 6'9".
Right, but he was pretty good at basketball, but he was also 7 feet tall, far too young to appreciate it, which also makes sense. But I felt, but Minarima, he can shoot. He has infinite range, as in he has the ability to shoot a set jump shot from anywhere on the court, and the court is 94 feet long, so he can shoot an 80-foot jump shot from the moment you inbound the ball. He can literally square up and shoot, and he never misses if the shot leaves his hand.
When he did that, when they inbounds the ball and he shoots it from there, I was like, oh, they mean literal infinite range. I thought they meant like half court.
Yeah.
Which, again, 2020, I just saw Dame Lillard and Steph Curry trade half-point jumpers in an All-Star game.
Yes.
So that is an actual utility now.
Yes.
This little child is shooting from the inbounds and missing and not missing.
No.
Like he's just splash.
Yeah.
I would fight.
My favorite thing, they also said the thing that his shot arc's so high that his whole team gets back on defense, which is the problem. So his shot arc's so high, but he never misses. So no one tries to get the offensive rebound. So as soon as he shoots the ball, his whole team gets back on defense. And by the time the ball goes through the rim, they're all set up on defense. So not only you can't even like run after misses or push the pace or anything. He shoots it. You have to wait 4 seconds and the other team sprints back on defense. And then it goes in. You inbound the ball and they're already waiting for you every single fucking possession. The utility of a man with a 75-foot jump shot that never misses.
But then when they finally find the way around that, which is, oh, hey, if I actually just like stand in front of you and try to block your shot, you can't get around that. He incorporates the rest of his team. And again, the decisions he makes make perfect basketball sense.
Yes.
I will draw them to me and we will kill them on the inside.
So as someone who is not as well versed in basketball, I follow basketball. My girl played basketball. Like I know it, but I'm a football guy, right? So I know that well. You're not describing this well enough. This is like, imagine if Dragon Ball Z did everything they're saying.
Yes.
Yes.
The anime levels are pumped up to 22. It's good. It's good.
Dog, there is a moment where Kagami tries to dunk over Baby Shaq, and Baby Shaq blocks him, but they treat it like a beam fight, like complete with the portraits screaming at each other.
Yes.
And they're pushing it I'm like, this is so over the top. I love it. This is perfect.
Yeah, Taiga, the Blake Griffin fellow, levels up his dunking ability till he gets the super ability called Meteor Dunk, where he jumps so high that he then throws the ball down into the basket at such a harsh angle that no one can block it. So it's not even a dunk. He's just throwing like this type of vertical three-pointer down from like 5 feet over the rim straight down into the basket as hard as he can. No
Remember
one can
when
do
Blake
anything.
Griffin used to do that consistently?
Yes. You couldn't block. He'd throw the ball into the basket. You stop him in midair. He'd overpower you and then throw the ball into the basket. It was so violent and disrespectful. My God.
And then Kyrie, I think that's your favorite, right? Baby Kyrie.
Well, he's my favorite because he is Kyrie Irving 1-to-1. He is. Because my thing about Kyrie Irving is, as much as I love him, like I call him Negro Cybermind, like he is, I've never seen, if you look at Kyrie Irving, like if you look at him, his whole life, like old highlights, everything, no human being has ever guarded him successfully. No one. Ever.
No.
Since he's been a child, no one's guarded him. And seeing who he is now, and knowing that at the top of the food chain, no one can guard you. Nobody. I now have empirical fucking data that no one can guard me. I'm going to take a week off. I'm out. Don't even ask me where I'm at. Listen, I'm going to turn my phone off. I'll see you guys on Monday. I'm out of here. So I get it. On Kuroko's basketball, what's the name of the guy again?
Almine.
Almine. Yeah, I just fuck up his name. Yeah. So him being so good at basketball that everyone gave up, and he lost his will to play because everyone lost their will to play against him, and he's just sitting there on the roof of the school, and the manager has to drag him down every day for practice, and he doesn't want to practice. I'm like, yeah, I get it. No one's been able to guard him. And this is like basketball. Like I said, he's not deploying magic. He's not deploying a 100-foot set shot. He's not 7 feet tall. He's just better at basketball. He doesn't have a split personality. Nothing. He's just objectively better at basketball than everyone you put in front of him. And he always has been.
The part that's hilarious that the dub just can't capture because street ball is a thing in America. When they say, oh my God, his ability, it's street ball. I died laughing. It is objectively the funniest thing. Because it's just, he is Kyrie Irving.
Listen,
he
man.
makes impossible shot. Dog, he does one shot where he lays, he jumps, goes parallel to the court and shoots straight up and makes it. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Bruh, there was this time, I think it happened like last week, because I think Harden's hurt his hamstring, so it's been Kyrie running point. There was some time he was double teamed at the top of the key. He pivoted, and then Kyrie Irving split the double team and took this left-handed fadeaway push shot and banked it in. And he turned around before that. He knew what it was. That was his shot. That left-handed fading, split the double team, men hanging off of him, push shot from 18 feet away, glass. And he just went back up on defense. And I was like, this is why I say what I say. He realized there would be a 3-minute long monologue about the fact that he's shooting a left-handed fadeaway with 2 guys on him, completely confident in his ability, in his ability to hit the shot. So yes, I get it. He is Kyrie Irving 100%. And I appreciate Kyrie Irving more because of Kuroko's basketball. I mean,
I will say, once you made that comparison, I'm like, yeah, I get it. There's a moment where he gets fouled. He shoots the ball behind his back, over from behind the basket into the back. I'm like, I'd fight this little nigga. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, I'll take a hard foul. We're not playing no more. You're just not playing anymore.
Listen, that's my favorite thing. is that he is subjectively good at basketball, and that's my favorite thing about that character. I mean, he's objectively good at basketball, and he's the best ball player on the show, to the point where he's just he's hard to manage, and I'm like, I get it. Like it's so real that I'm like, I cannot imagine being that good at basketball by 10. I cannot imagine averaging 45 points a game at 10 years old. To being this coordinated to the point where, and my favorite also, like, I like that they have this detail where it's the most anime thing where they have so much power. It's true, but it's funny to hear him explain it, that the Generation of Miracles are so gifted at basketball that they actually might hurt their young bodies by performing moves for grown basketball players too young, so they have to conserve their power. And we will never see them play at full strength because that might cause long-term damage for their bodies at such a young age. Imagine that, to be so good at basketball that someone's like, it might destroy your body to be this good at basketball this young. It's fair warning. You might want to pump the brakes on it, because you might hurt yourself.
Speaking about hard fouls, there is a hard foul team in Kuroko's basketball. Their whole strategy is hard fouls. That's all we do.
What was the name of the heel team leader? He was one of my favorite guys.
Oh, hold on. You're talking about Hanyamaya.
Yes.
His whole thing is, you gonna get these hard fouls. We gonna put that elbow in your chest.
They have
step on your ankles.
They have a whole team. They have the Generation of Miracles are the 5 best players, and they overshadow the previous year's 5 best players, who are called the Uncrowned Kings, and he's one of them.
Yes.
So there's a group of players who are slightly worse, and they got completely overshadowed, and their own stories, to hear their own stories, and one of them is just this dastardly, like, pro wrestling heel. And my favorite line is, he's like, what is it? What is he as, like, diamond? What is it? It doesn't matter whether you're a good player or a bad player. If you're hurt, if you can't play, you're all trash. That's it. What is it?
That's what it is. It's it doesn't matter how good you are. If you're broken, you're still trash.
Right. If you're broken, you're still trash. And yeah. And he had hand signals. He had nudges, winks, whistles, clicks, die taps. He was going back. He just hit the back of his leg, and all of a sudden somebody's diving into somebody's leg, and then I know what's going on. I'm way off in the background. I'm like, bro, this could, the deceit, the duplicity, the heel work was classic.
This is what white people thought the Detroit Pistons were.
I was about to say, they just the Detroit.
I mean, they weren't.
I mean,
as one of the things, and this is another basketball tangent, I'm sorry. As a Knicks fan, 2 things you realize. One, they would have never beaten the Bulls. They would have never beaten the Bulls. In New York, growing up in New York, the most delusional fan base, we all swore up and down we had the Bulls every fucking year. Every fucking year. Everyone in America was like, nah, you ain't got nothing. In New York, we would get to a fever pitch, frothing at the mouth. We could take the Bulls. So, as a grown man, detached from it for decades, I look at that game and I'm like, we had no fucking chance to beat the Bulls. Not at full strength. None.
Absolutely not.
But also, I realize that we were also not as good at the bullshit as the Pistons were, which hurts a little bit. Because we tried to do the bullshit that the Pistons did. We tried to slow down the game. We tried to get physical. But the Pistons had all the talent. They had goons, but they had talent. They had talented goons. They had talented also. Isaiah Thomas was a goon, but he was a top 5 player.
They had Joe Dumars.
And
they had Rodman shooting threes.
Rodman, Rick Mahorn, Bill Laimbeer. They had skilled defensive and offensive players, balance up and down. They were scoring, they were defending, and they were knocking niggas on their ass. The Knicks tried to do that, and we that's the thing that hurt the most in looking back at the Knicks playing the Bulls, is that we tried to do what the Pistons did, and we sucked at that too.
The funniest part about that for me is, like, because I grew up where I grew up, like, listen, if you're from Milwaukee, there's no illusion about any of your sports teams. at all. There's none. We have no illusion. So we be like, it really, so like when we cheer on our teams, we really cheer on like the progress that they make. Like any progress is fantastic. Like it's great. Like I remember when the first time the Brewers made it to the playoffs in like a decade, I was just like, I can die happy now.
Right. And
but so like at that time, when it came to basketball, we were like, you tried, now I'm gonna go cheer for the Bulls.
the it's funny. It's funny.
Eagles fans.
You know what
What
it
was
is? You
that?
know what it is? It's that that type of lack of delusion was actually really fun to observe because Packers fans, because Knicks fans were always like, we're like one player away. The Knicks fans are still like that. They're fucking out of their mind. I'm not going into that, but Milwaukee sports fans could see the writing on the wall. So if the team was a legitimate contender, then like the crescendo rose realistically. And you know what I mean? And I that's why I'm not a Knicks fan. Because you can't have an objective conversation about the New York Knicks in New York with Knicks fans. But I would love it if I could have an objective, like Milwaukee fans, Brewers fans, Packers fans, Bucks fans. They're super objective. They're having a good time. The team is good.
No, it's really funny. It's like, even, relating back to the Packers, like this last season, people like, oh, the Packers are going to make it. And I'm like, no, they're not. And they're like, aren't you a Packers fan? I'm like, yeah. They're like, but I'm like, no, you don't understand.
Well,
when it really matters, the team chokes.
Oh, I mean, they got ran.
Like-
they ran into the bus. They lost to the team that won the Super Bowl. So I'm not going to necessarily. I'm not going to put that on them.
No. When specifically when it matters and it's against something they're like against the team they're objectively better than, they choke every time without fail.
They never should have kicked that field goal. If they
Every
don't kick
time.
that field goal, they win.
Oh yeah, they shouldn't. No, I wouldn't have done that.
I was screaming.
I mentioned that to Erica. I was like, I don't know why I wouldn't just want to head lose with my best quarterback of all time. Like that's what you see. You sink on that ship there with that captain throwing the ball.
And that's what it's like. And it was just like, I'm like, this is the most Packers thing that has ever happened. I'm just like, why?
So bringing that back to Kirko's basketball, there's a moment where they're like, get back on defense. They're like, no, if we're going to win this shit, we're going to win it with the ball in our hands. Fuck it, let them score. I don't. 2 for 1, let them score. Fuck it, I don't care. We're putting the ball in our hands, and we're not winning this on defense. It's not happening. No, we're not getting a stop. It's not happening.
Oh yeah, I remember that they were trying to spend the whole game trying to figure out how to figure out. Yeah, they were trying to figure out. Oh yeah, we didn't get to the shapeshifter fellow, the model fellow.
So one of the generation of miracles, I call him Kobe, and this is not shade to Kobe, because Kisei's ability is he can copy. If he sees someone do something, he can copy it to perfection. Kobe Bryant modeled his game after Michael Jordan. He took all of the best parts of MJ's game and made that into his own. That is not shade to Kobe Bryant. That is literally what he did.
I mean, he did.
I mean, that's literally what he did.
He also took some of the best parts of Akeem Olajuwon's post game as well. And he did that. Yes, he's a shockingly skilled basketball player. Yes, go on.
And Kisei, they're playing Saren. And this is actually the game where Saren is like heavily favored. Kaijo Kisei's team, they just don't have the horses, right? Like at this point, Saren is firing on all cylinders. They literally need Kisei to copy all of the Generation of Miracles to just have a ghost of a chance. And even then, it gets dicey. And the coach is just like, fuck it. We're putting all of our hopes on this 12-year-old kid. If we win, we win. If we don't, it is what it is. I'll send this kid out here with a bat. Like he has an ankle injury, and he's like, Coach, I can play. He says, look, I'm gonna be real with you. If you go down, we lose anyways. They need to hold it down for 5 minutes. If they can hold it down for 5 minutes and not be down more than 15, we got a shot. Like coach is literally telling the team, look, if y'all can just keep it to within 15, I got you. They almost don't let it go to 15. They're just getting worked. And the coach is like, fuck it. Kisei, do it. Save us.
Yes.
We put it all on you. Do the thing.
And I think in that game, Kuroko, who's also has the power of observation, that's where his magic and deception and his teleport powers work, is he observes where you're looking. So he like manipulates where he's going and where the ball's going based on your eye line. So where you're looking, he reacts to where you're looking. So he's sitting there looking at, Kisei the entire game, trying to observe the weakness in his game so that they could possibly win and possibly make a stop because they can't stop him from doing anything. And then at the end of the game, he realizes that we couldn't stop him at all. We had to let him score. No, after careful observation, we can't stop him. We could not stop him.
We must.
Yes,
we
we had to
have
let
to
him-
just let him.
We had to let him score.
Kuroko looks, because I love the way the anime does it. Kuroko looks at the scoreboard, looks at the clock, and says, "Okay, cool. Just let them keep scoring. They can't keep up. As long as we keep scoring with them, it's fine.
Oh man!
But objectively, we can't stop it. No, it's not happening."
I swear to God.
The-
We're gonna. I think we might have to return to this.
No, I mean, we're gonna
periodically,
have to.
because
Like,
there's
I
so much.
mean,
There's so much. There's so much to discuss on the program. It's shockingly well written, and it's about real basketball and literally pulling apart each game, choosing a game and pulling it apart in great detail, because the episodes do. Sometimes the one game is like 4 episodes for the record. So it's not us. Go on.
Yeah, the last game in the manga is 27 chapters.
Right. So if we pulled apart a game in great detail, it would actually be very respectful to the source material, which will make one game last 5 episodes and not flinch. So, yes. And it's not dragging it out. It's like real basketball. And I swear to God, looking at the thought process of someone trying to how to defend Kyrie Irving after he scored 18 points in a row through a 3-minute monologue of him going through all the layers of self-doubt, training, coaching, his childhood, his father going to be disappointed in him, who is he, how he was raised, where he was raised, how long he's been playing basketball, when he started basketball, when he stopped playing tennis to play basketball, only for this moment to be dominated, to feel that pain right along with him. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, the last thing before we close out, there's a moment in one of the games where the team is up 4 with like 1 second left. Dude is about to shoot a 3-pointer. He goes into his internal monologue saying, "I should just let him score because 3 is less than 4." And he fouls him while he's doing this. My body instinctively reacted.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's great. I'm gonna watch some more tonight. This is just like it. I can rewatch Kuroko's basketball all the time. It's great.
If you're listening, give it a watch. It's good anime,
Hopefully
and
I'll
it's
be
good
in-
basketball.
I
And
was-
I do have to say, like, even if you don't understand like sports or basketball, like, it's a really fun watch because it is peak anime, like peak anime ridiculousness. It's just clearly the creator is a basketball nerd.
yes,
Yes.
and that's
So
the thing.
That's where the extra comes into.
Right. It's
So,
good
like,
anime.
nothing-
It's good anime, and it's good basketball, or it's good anime or good basketball, depending upon where you're coming from. It's all good.
right.
You
So,
can imagine it's just a reverse game of like they're at a magic school now, and they just wear basketball uniforms instead of robes.
Also, I
What?
have feelings about the fact that the like it's so cute that the 2 best players on every team pair off like this little platonic boyfriend couple thing. I actually think that's
Oh
fucking
no,
adorable.
it's not, so
I love that so much. Their relationships between these gentlemen is just the most precious. Like they're all the most precious beans pairing off with the other best player on the team.
Akashi School, the Ray Allen XP, the author confirmed that he is gay and dating someone at the school.
Oh,
Hold on.
he's
One
gay.
of them. Is. I think he made. They said that on the show. They had actually alluded to that, and he didn't say anything. Like they made a comment that would have seemed like a joke, but he actually just was like, "Nah, you're right."
Yeah, because he keeps hitting on Hyuga in that game,
Yes.
and Hyuga's like, "No."
Right, and he's not saying anything derogatory. He's like, "Come on, man, we gotta play some basketball."
No, he's like, "Dude, you're trying to distract me." He's like, "I mean, I'm just saying, after the game, you and your friends can get me and my friends, and we can be friends."
I absolutely like I said, that the dynamics and everything going on in the show. I know we're approaching Justin's hard stop. So we will, like I said, if you would like whatever closing words you have to say, but we're not done with this because I didn't realize there's like 5 hours of content in this fucking series.
I don't know how you didn't realize it.
I honestly thought this would be like a 30-minute discussion. I thought we were going to talk about 5-5 as well, but God, yeah, this is so good.
Nah, we can do another recording that'll get into 5-5. Whenever y'all have extra time, we can just do like a little extra episode.
Well, let's just do it when 5-5 comes out.
Yeah,
It comes out Tuesday.
Oh God, nigga, I'm not ready. I have so much work to do. I hate this game.
I keep getting
I say it
distracted.
while
I keep
I'm like
going
playing
together.
in front lines.
I keep going together, and then all of a sudden I'm fishing, and I can't.
Yep, that's the trap. All right, I got to bounce.
All right, bye.
My friend. Thank you for being on, my friend.
Yeah, it's that like, oh God, fuck this game. Like the worst part about this game is like there's genuinely like a lot of stuff I want to do. Like genuinely, there's a lot of stuff I also need to do before a patch. And like, what am I doing? I'm sitting here and doing front lines. I'm just like, I still have to finish my relics. I have crafting to do, and I'm just like,
I haven't started my third step in my relic. I'm so behind. Like I haven't done any of the raids that are needed. I've just been sitting on it. I need to really do all that. So,
I mean, if you it's
like,
not
my axe is glowy. I'm fine.
I'm like, if you don't want to do it, like you don't have to do it. It's just like essentially at the end of the day, it's a glamour item.
Right.
Well,
Well,
it'll be best in slot, but at the same time, because it's end of the expansion, best in slot doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I guess not, huh?
Because you can get like a decent, like if you're not raiding, it especially doesn't matter.
I mean, the gear has those augments anyway, right?
Wait, sorry, what?
The Boja gear.
Yeah, there's augments for the Baja gear. Which again, you don't need unless you're like, I don't know, you live in it like I do.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, I really like having haste. It's great. I love it. It's my favorite. Haste gear is fantastic. But again, you don't need it unless you live there.
Right.
So, because like if you live there, you get and you see the benefit. Like it makes 100% sense if you're in there. But if you're only in there like super casually, it doesn't really matter. Get your fragments. That matters more.
Yeah, I got a ton of fragments. And didn't they say they're raising the level cap, or is that?
No, they're raising the level. They're raising the metal cap from 15 to 25.
Oh, okay.
Which, and I think they're going to be doing a new instanced area. They like the translation. The translation said they did show it. The translation said there's going to be a new Baja area, and I'm like, whew.
Thank goodness.
I'm just what I'm
that, like brown. It was getting a little much.
I mean, it's fine. I don't mind it, but I also like I don't know if it's because like I just by nature don't mind super grindy content.
I don't mind the content. I don't mind it at all.
Well, no, I mean, what I mean, like, so with grindy content it usually means that you're in the same area for like ever.
Yeah.
I'm mostly okay with that. I do try to diversify like my areas if I can. So like when you had to run like 6 level 60 dungeons, I was like, I don't fucking care if Anti-Tower is the fastest. You won't catch me dead in that more than once. I absolutely refuse because one, that place puts me to fucking sleep. But like I can't do the same dungeon like 18 bazillion times.
Right.
Even if it is objectively faster. So while I do believe in diversifying content, I can also just like I can hang out in Baja for like hours and it doesn't really bother me because my brain just doesn't care.
I'm at the mode now where I'm falling into the trap of I just want to try a little bit of this class. And maybe I try a little of this class today. Where I'm just trying to poke at what my healer is gonna be.
That's valid. I definitely like that's one thing I always encourage people to do is, like branch out, find what classes you want to play. Look, I'm enjoying Samurai and it's screwed up by it's
Samurai too.
Samurai screwed up my entire life. I had the exact amount of greed down to a science on my ninja, and now I'm on samurai, and it's all fucked up. I just want to die. Like I'm just like, I will die with this last hit. And of course, it doesn't help that like the whole samurai thing is like die with honor, and I'm like, my class quests are telling me to also be greedy. I'm like, no, I worked so hard to literally get it down to a timed science on ninja, and now here we go, it's all messed up. No.
New rotations, gotta love them.
Oh my man, it's awful. It's not even just the rotations, it's the idea of it, like that I must get as much damage done as possible before I die. It's not even like get out of the attack, it's I must die getting this attack. Like living be damned, I will get this damage off. Even though it's just like, but you screw up your damage if you die. Who cares?
That's why I stick with my dancer. We don't like to be in the fray.
Listen, it's bad. It's like affected all my classes. It's affected me on machinist. It's affected me on literally everything. It's affected me on everything. And it doesn't help that I already play my scholar, which is a healer class, like in specifically melee range. So it's all funny. But yeah, the patch is coming out. It's coming out on Tuesday. None of us are ready. Some of us are super ready. I'm not ready, but I will just have to learn that I will never be ready.
We're gonna learn some stuff,
and we're gonna learn all sorts of stuff. All kinds of. Basically, 5.5 is gonna be the calm before the storm. The storm being the expansion that's gonna hit in fall. So we're gonna a lot of shit's gonna happen that none of us are gonna be ready for, and it's gonna leave us all of us on a massive cliffhanger. So that's gonna be interesting.
Like I can't imagine y'all that have been playing for longer than I have. Like I've been playing just over 2 years, just that. What, a year and a half, 2? The stuff that is about to start getting resolved, I'm like, oh my God, I can't imagine I've waited 10 years for this. Like, oh my gosh.
Well, like the worst part, the narrative is extremely good. So they just kind of like, keep you at it, keep you on it. And it's always like they constantly answer some questions and then they like have much bigger questions. So right now we're at like some massive questions, just massive, that will maybe one day get answered. Well, no, it will be answered with this, the first section of this new expansion that's going to happen in fall. And I'm not ready for it. I'm not ready. I'm not emotionally ready. I'm not any kind of ready. I'm no prepared. There's gonna be new classes which are gonna relate to narratively to the main story, and I'm just like, no, oh my God. So it's gonna. I'm excited. It's gonna be really good. Yeah. Aaron, did you have anything else you wanted to bring up? Any other topics?
I reiterate the fact that I'm actually gonna ask. I'm gonna go forward with this plan to have people helping me choose which indie games to buy. I mean to play, not buy, but to play on stream. And that's about it. Like I said, you can hit us up on Twitter, UN Fridays, like United Nation Fridays. And chime in on whether you would like the idea of being able to choose when games I play. If I made a list, about 20 games or so, everyone kind of choose, and we could go from there. But other than that bit of housekeeping, there's nothing. I think we are good to go. We could talk about more, but that's why you have other episodes.
Yeah, because there's definitely some stuff I wanted to bring up. Like I wanted to bring up Intel's new side project, but I really wanted Justin to be there.
All right.
Because Intel's new side project of adjust the language you want to hear.
Oh yes, I saw that, the racism slider. Yes.
But I like Justin just has like this lovely level of like tech knowledge. I like picking his brain over.
Oh, okay. So then we'll bring him back and we'll rely on
Yeah.
his expertise.
So we'll probably do a recording on either Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever day next week, and then kind of.
You know dang well you ain't doing no recording on Tuesday.
I didn't say I wouldn't be playing during the recording.
Right.
Just like I'm totally not playing during the recording right now. I mean, when am I not playing during the recording? I think somebody one day mentioned that they could hear the buttons clicking in the background, and I went,
It's adds to the ambiance. It's
I
like
mean,
you're with us.
I mean, it is. I mean, I have a thing. I love the sound of people playing video games. I love mechanical keyboards, wooden arcade cabinets, joysticks. I love that quite a bit.
Oh God, wooden arcade cabinets.
Oh my God.
It's like I don't know. That should just be a whole ASMR channel right there, just like the button clicking.
It's
and
go on.
Like the thump of the stick, the thump that you're getting from the wood.
Right.
Oh,
It's
those classic. Oh, some of those old pinball like machines.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that sound. That sound is the best.
You're dealing with some nerds here.
I mean, that's why.
This is not a nerd. This is not a nerd podcast. I don't know what you're talking about. What nerds? Who are nerds?
I actually follow a lot of Korean Tekken players because they don't necessarily they just have a hot mic, so the mic picks up them playing, and only Smash Brothers is louder on the sticks than Tekken. Only Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, Smash Brothers is the best.
The sound of
also with the Smash Brothers one, it is. Listen, that GameCube controller.
Oh my God, I love the sound of that. And you know, it's funny. It was so loud that I was in a LAN center where it would be like 12 TVs with Halo or something, and one TV in the back, 4 niggas playing Smash, and you could hear them the whole time over everything. 12 games of Halo. Nah.
The GameCube controller
controllers
is still the best controller for Smash. Like, people can fight me on that.
Oh no, it is. I mean,
it's just like my favorite part about Smash on the Switch was like when they announced, the Switch and Smash Brothers. Is the first question was, but are you gonna have GameCube controllers?
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, then with the announcement of Smash, they immediately went, here's our GameCube controller.
I know they threw it. They opened the door and threw a box out onto the crowd before the crowd could kill them. They were like, here you go. Shit. Fuck.
Hey, what are we going to do? There's no more left in the warehouse.
Nah, just keep throwing them out the window. We're not selling these. Throw them out the window until the crowd disperses. We're not selling these. Give them away. I want to go home tonight. Throw them out the window. You slide them down the stairs every 10 minutes. Don't look any of them in the eye until we don't have any more.
It's like Jurassic Park.
Yes, it is. And I don't blame them. I love the GameCube controller. One of my favorite things about the GameCube experience was the extremely enjoyable controller. But
not one of the top 10.
What'd you say?
I said not one of the top 10, apparently.
There was a controller top 10?
There was.
Always, actually. Yeah.
Well, GameCube didn't make top 10. It's one of the greatest controllers of all time.
I'm pretty sure it did. Yes.
I would say outside of the Xbox controller design, there's the PlayStation. Well, they kind of adopted the same thing. The Xbox controller design that is universally used is good, but outside of like the basic design, like best practices that it kind of brought on, the GameCube controller is the best, air quotes, weird controller of all time by several miles. Like not the traditional, right analog stick, left analog stick, bumper triggers type deal. It's the best one by a mile. Like what else could be better?
Yeah, but those like the amount of buttons it has makes it really great for Smash because there's so many abilities and combos.
Right.
I love Smash. Also, like my best friend is literally like the best like Smash player I've met ever. And I have actually like played against professional competitive Smash players. And I would really love if my best friend, who's not totally listening to this right now, when one day get into competitive Smash, and if he did, I would literally punch out competitors' fans.
I mean, he might not want that smoke. I don't know.
No,
It's
it's
like,
okay. It's fine.
Like Smash is super toxic.
Smash is actually really super toxic.
Right, it's like
the
one of the-
random's really toxic.
Right. Sometimes people will ask me, why don't I play games, like try to compete? And I'm like, the first person shooter community. I'm a 37-year-old black man. I'm like Danny Glover. Like, I am officially too old. I could do it, but I don't want to I can't deal with the edgelord army. Like, I don't have the time, and I don't want to spend my last years on this earth dealing with them. And
Also, the Smash community, which is really funny, like they really hate that game. They really love and hate that game. They're just like, this is the best game ever, Smash. Like, they will go hard for Smash and at the same time be like, why are you doing this?
Well,
Sakurai, why?
Right. Well, this is it's their game. Like, you are not allowed to talk about Smash Brothers, but me, who have played it 30,000 hours, can complain, and frankly, they're correct. They have within all rights. They are within all rights to complain or not complain as they see fit. What are you gonna say, Beth?
Poor Sakurai.
I know.
Please let him be.
Let the man
alone.
be.
Hey, every now and then they just drag him out. Here are some more characters.
And they're just like, why you not do my character, Sakurai? And it's just like,
I gave you 14 links.
right.
Yeah, it's I always get a kick out of the way developers are met by the audience. Always makes me laugh. This is the last thing we'll talk about before we shut it down. Is that, like, Smash Brothers? Everyone's very hype, and I like that enthusiasm. Even though they do run him into the ground, they harass him endlessly. But at least they give him a raucous standing ovation whenever a new character is introduced, though. Like, it's kind of a good time.
That is very fair.
So
I mean, that is not wrong.
Right. Final Fantasy 14, also the audience. No one loves their game more than Final Fantasy 14 audience, where it's like, because like I'll be in Destiny streams and they'll be showing cool stuff, and then there's like about 15-20% of the audience at least is like, fuck Destiny, and we're all just like, why are you here? But Final Fantasy, when they have these events, 100% of the crowd is lit in multiple languages, lit the whole time from beginning to end, lit. Those live events, stream on fire, crowd cheering, developers smiling.
It's wild how many people are awake at 4 a.m. just to watch a live letter
Listen,
that isn't even in English.
Listen. Oh, go
Hey,
on.
can we get new primals?
I know, we're getting new primals. Oh my god. Not ready.
All right, folks. Remember, enjoy your games. We'll be back
Please
next
enjoy
week.
your games. Please enjoy your games.
Thank you guys for listening, and have a pleasant day.